Mahamanav Aerospace and Research Exploration Private Limited. This is an internship program on avionics presented by Priyanka Ayali. Aircraft recording system. In this module we are going to study about the information, the FDR system and the CDR system. Flight recorder. It is an electronic recording device placed in an aircraft for a purpose of facilitating the investigation of aviation accident and incident. Flight recorders are also known by the misnomer black box. They are in fact painted bright orange in color to aid their recovery after accident. There are two types of flight recording devices. Flight data recorder (FDR) preserves the recent history of the flight through the recording of dozens of parameters collected several times per second, and the cockpit voice recorder (CVR) preserves the history of the sounds in the cockpit, including conversation of the pilot. The two devices may be combined into a single unit. Together, the FDR and CVR objectively documents aircraft's flight history, which may assist in any later investigation. The two flight recorders are required by international regulation overseen by the ICAO to be capable of surviving the condition likely to be encountered in a severe aircraft accident. For this reason, they are typically specified to withstand an impact of 3400 G and temperatures of over 1000 degrees Celsius as required by the Euro CAE ED 112. They have been mandatory requirement in commercial aircraft in the US since 1967. After the unexplained disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 in 2014, commentators have called for a live streaming of data to ground as well as the extending of the battery life of underwater locator beacon. A flight data recorder (FDR), also ADR for accident data recorder, is an electronic device employed to record instructions sent to any electronic system of an aircraft. The data recorder by FDR are used for accident-incident investigation. Due to their importance in investigating accidents, these ICAO-regulated devices are carefully engineered and constructed to withstand the force of high-speed impact and heat on an intensifier. Contrary to the popular term black box, the exterior of FDR is coated with a heat-resistant bright orange paint for high visibility in wreckage, and unit is usually mounted at the aircraft's tail section where it is more likely to survive a crash. Following an accident, recovery of the FDR is usually a high priority for the investigation body, as analysis of recorded parameters can often detect and identify causes and contributing factors. Have a look at these flight recorders. They are all painted in orange. Modern day FDRs receive inputs via specified data frame from the Flight Data Acquisition Unit. They record significant flight parameters including the control and actuator position, engine information, and time of day. Generally, each parameter is recorded with a few times per second, though some units store the bursts of data at much higher frequency if the data begin to change quickly. Most FDRs record approximately 17 to 25 hours of data in a continuous loop. It is required by regulation that an FDR verification check is performed annually in order to verify that all mandatory parameters are recorded. Many aircraft today are equipped with an event button in the cockpit that could be activated by the crew if abnormality occurs in flight. Pushing the button places a signal on the recording, marking the time of the event. Modern FDRs are typically double wrapped in a strong corrosion-resistant stainless steel or titanium with high-temperature insulation inside. Modern FDRs are accompanied with the underwater locator beacon that emits an ultrasonic ping to aid in detection when submerged. These beacons operate up to for 30 days and are able to operate when immersed into a depth of up to 6,000 meters or 20,000 feet. Cockpit Voice Recorder (CVR). It is a flight recorder used to record audio environment in the flight deck of an aircraft for the purpose of investigation of accident and incident. This is typically achieved by recording the signal of the microphone and earphone of the pilot's headset of an area microphone to the roof of the cockpit. The current applicable FAA TSO is C123B, titled Cockpit Voice Recorder Equipment. When an aircraft is required to carry a CVR and uses digital communication, the CVR is required to record such communications with the air traffic control unless this is recorded elsewhere. As of 2008, it is an FAA requirement that recording duration is minimum of 2 hours. A standard CVR is capable of recording 4 channels of audio data for a period of 2 hours. The original requirement was for a CVR to record for 30 minutes, but this has been found to be insufficient in many cases because significant parts of audio data needed to be subsequent investigation occurred more than 30 minutes before the end of recording. The earliest CVRs used in analog wire recording, later replaced by analog magnetic tape. Other units used a single reel with the tape spliced into a continuous loop, much as in 8-track cartridge. The tape would circulate and old audio information would be overwritten every 30 minutes. Recovery from the sound magnetic tape often proves difficult if the recorder is recovered from water and its housing has been breached. Thus, the latest design employ the solid-state memory and use digital recording techniques, making them much more resistant to shock, vibration, and moisture. With the reduced power requirement of solid-state recorder, it is now practical to incorporate a battery in the units so that the recording can contribute and continue until the flight termination even if the flight aircraft electrical system fails. Like the FDR and CVR is typically mounted near the rear of the airplane fuselage to maximize the likelihood of its survival in a crash. This is a figure of the black box with some of the information of FDR and CVR. Have a look at it. So this was all about the aircraft recording system. Thank you.